while we are contending for our own liberty, we should be very cautious not to violate the conscience of others, ever considering that God alone is the judge of the hearts of men, and to him only in this case are they answerable. George Washington. If your divinely molded conscience is being violated by any ruling authority, you have every right to fight it. This video will serve as a brief overview on how you can use your religious liberty to fight against tyrannical policies. Good afternoon, Patriots. This is Constitution Vet, and welcome back to my channel. As mentioned, we're going to use this video as a brief survey to dig into something that you can use to defend your religious liberty against any form of tyrannical policy, such as policies that are forcing you to get pizzas delivered to your home. Before we go any further, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and please keep supporting the brave patriots down below and the brave patriot right here as well. You might have heard of him. He's been a huge support to my channel, and I would not be here without his awesome dedication. So on top of this patriot, there's another supporter that has helped me get through every single day, and that is Freedom Hill Coffee Roasters. Check them out.
Owned and operated by veterans, Freedom Hill Coffee Roasters create exquisite brews from select beans, offering a wide selection of roasts and merchandise. Apply Constitution Vet for a 10% discount on your next order. Freedom Hill Coffee Roasters, supporting noble causes and brewing excellent coffee for those who love God, family, and country.
During these trying times, many of you may be asking one very important question. What can I use to defend my rights? The first example is the First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. For this video, our focus is on that first part, the freedom of religion. That's broad. Let's start getting more focused. The next example is the 14th Amendment. Here, no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. But what does that mean? How can I use the law to protect my rights? The answer? The Civil Rights Act of 1964. Through the leadership of Martin Luther King Jr. and President Lyndon B. Johnson, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 became U.S. law. This is a monumental legislation that expanded individual liberty for all Americans. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act protects you from religious discrimination in the workplace. This can be a very strong defense against forced pizza deliveries. To save on time, I'm going to cover key takeaways from this legislation. If you wish to read this in its entirety, the links are down below. Part 1 of key takeaways from this act. First, if forced pizza deliveries violate your sincerely held religious belief, you can fight for a religious exemption. Your current sincerely held religious belief is not on trial. You are not required to explain or list out supporting evidence. A belief is not the same as a fact. Everything I'm showing you today is coming directly from Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, which you can read down below. After notifying your employer, they are required to provide reasonable accommodation. Forcing you into unpaid leave or voluntary resignation does not classify as a reasonable accommodation. If the employer refuses to accommodate your currently sincerely held religious belief, they are violating U.S. law, Title VII, the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I must make this very clear. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not providing any form of legal advice. That's not what I'm doing. All I'm doing is simply telling you what this legislation actually says. Again, they are linked down below. Your employer can ask limited questions about your religious exemption. But if the inquiry goes beyond your current religious belief, you do not have to answer. Here are some examples below. How long have you held a religious belief underlying your objection? Answer: the length in which I have held my belief has no bearing on my constitutional rights and the legal protections under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. This is what I currently believe and is my sincerely held religious belief. My religious beliefs do not need to be consistent, logical, or agreeable. Please describe whether as an adult you have received any pizzas against any other issues, such as the pig pizza or the spider pizza. And if so, which pizzas would you most recently receive and when to the best of your recollection? This question has no bearing on my current religious convictions. My religious beliefs do not need to be consistent, logical, or agreeable to merit Title VII protection against religious discrimination. These are good examples of a way that you can fight back against any question that has nothing to do with your current sincerely held religious beliefs. These examples are also down below in the description. So what do we do with this? How do we take this, digest it, and help it make sense to us? First step, go to links below and actually read the material. Don't just take what I'm saying, actually read it for yourself and think for yourself. Second, if you foresee an issue coming up with your place of employment, your employer must provide a form or an opportunity for you to express your religious exemptions. Furthermore, your employer, by law, must accommodate your religious exemption from forced pizza deliveries. If you wish to get more guidance on this matter, I highly encourage y'all to go check out one of the brave patriots down below named Peggy Hall. She has a wonderful collection of resources that can help you use your rights to defend against tyranny. Again, check her out. Her link is down below. In closing, no matter how small you think you are, you, the American citizen, has immense power. Look at the massive win in Virginia. Huge tyrannical giants applied their power, their influence, their pressure. But guess what? The voice of the people persevered and were victorious in the end. Let that be a little glimmer of hope. Let that be the encouragement to get you through these next few weeks. You're not alone in this. You are not powerless. You can fight this. I've provided many examples in the past. This is just one more example, one more thing you can use to protect and command your rights against new forms of tyranny. Never surrender, never submit. This is Constitution Vet, signing out.